better than any of us.
Well, what can I say?
I did put on moisturizer.
Okay. When we have a break, I'm going to fix this.
I'm just saying. I bring my A game.
Oh yes, also I forgot about the the dice thrower thing with the roll your party software. I'm using this one, so I put the link just under the other one.
Simply Worthy Donkey, I like it.
Yeah, it's randomized, so I don't know how they determine that, but
it's randomly generated. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, it's the first time I use this website, so I don't know how it really works. In fact, I know the basics, but
I'm familiar with it. I think we can work it. We'll be able to walk everybody through it if they need it. Ooh, they've changed the dice though. That's interesting.
Yeah, the dice are really cool.
They've gone
like they're really clean.
They've gone flat. So what's the? Can you give us like the overview of the playbooks?
Yeah, exactly. First, maybe the overview of the game itself. The idea is, in fact, at first a few years before, I created a simple game where you played. In fact, I will pitch it because it's kind of a follow-up of this game. Everyone knows that children that get lost at night when it rains end up in the city, which is kind of a ghost version of our own world where no adults live at all. But from the rain, from the puddles, or from the stagnant water on the ground emerge, in fact, sirens, greedy creatures, voracious creatures rather, that are hungry of the flesh of little kids. And to survive, they have to stick together. And because these sirens are kind of, how to say that, cowards, and they don't dare attack groups, entire groups. They prefer to lure children out of their groups and then devour them in the dark. That's the idea. And most children get devoured by these sirens. They leave the group for one reason or another, and they die. Others, fewer, will find the way back home and find their parents. And there are other children, again, that will continue to wander in this world, and all of them will end up finding Libreté, which is kind of a fortress built by wandering children, in fact. They recreate a society kind of like in Lord of the Flies or things like that. They try to recreate an entire society without adults and try to survive. The problem being that with each new group of children come other sirens, and they begin to be more and more around the city, the fortress, sorry. And in the end, they become numerous enough, let's say, to dare attack the fortress itself and destroy Libreté and kill all the children inside. So that's the idea. Because of these specific, let's say, format of the game, because it's a convention, so we only have 3 hours, and like most PBTA games, we need theoretically 5 or 10 sessions to completely develop this idea. I chose kind of a demo version of the game, and in this one you play in fact children that are about to create Libreté. So they have they have been chased for days and days, and now they have chosen to create that and to stop running at last and develop a new society. That's the idea. So about the characters, maybe I can share what I'm seeing, just in case people would be watching that. I think it's sharing the screen, something like that. Yeah, I think it's working now. Okay, that's weird. Maybe I shouldn't share too much. That would be something like that, maybe. Here, can we see? Okay, we see the characters. Good. Okay, so I go back to the Hangout screen. So we have 5 roles here, 5 archetypes among the others. I chose the leader, the brute, the princess, the weirdo, and the little one. Because once again of the specific format of the convention, I created pre-gen characters. So the idea would be that, sorry, I go back to, okay. So we have Prisma Price, who is a girl who was chosen to be the leader because she has more charisma than the others, and she imposed herself naturally. We have Sapphire Princess, who of course is a princess, in fact, hence the name, who is kind of more superficial and decided that she would be the princess and that Price would be our prince. No matter, doesn't matter that Prisma Price is also a girl. For her, it's natural because she's a leader. Every leader needs a princess, and so she will be her princess. Ashman is in fact kind of a shaman, you know, because he has weird intuitions, and he was able during their running away, he was able on several occasions to tell them when there was danger, and he saved them many times, and he was the one who chose to stop there and build a society, a new society. What he didn't say to the others was that he knew that they would all die at one point or another. The difference would be that if they continued to run away, they would die sooner than if they stayed where he chose to stay. The point is, you will see that by reading the characters. Ashman has specific visions, which is a move by itself. And to do that, he has to burn precious things. So he burned their last meal, their last resources, and he had this vision of a kind of a Buddhist temple, and he said that is the place where we will settle down. Okay, I will try to lower my voice for my daughter. Okay, then we have Needle Black with the archetype of the brute. So this one is more of kind of a guy who doesn't want to do things. He's quite capable of fighting and things like that, but he prefers to hang around doing nothing with his friends. And also he likes to how to say that, to punch the little ones to make them do what he wants. And we finish with Smart Cookie, who is the little one, so he's supposed to be around, the others are supposed to be between 13, maybe 15 at best, at most. And for Smart Cookie, it's more someone who would be like 8 or 9, someone very, how to say, very willful. He wants to help people, but they say that he is too small to do that, etc. Maybe I can give you also, I don't know where to start. Maybe I can begin explaining the rules themselves. Or do you have questions first before that? Because I must be forgetting things, in fact. No? Everything's okay? Okay, perfect. So, like in any PBTA game, you have to, when you want to perform an action, you will throw 2 dice, 2 6-sided dice, and add them together. And you will compare that to a chart of results. Contrary to most PBTA games, you don't have characteristics. So most of the time, if you do nothing, you will just throw these 2 dice and add them and add nothing to them. The problem being that if your result is between 2 and 7, you fail in a way, and I can launch an MC move. If you are between 8 and 10, it's a perfect result. You get what you wanted, no more, no less. And if you get 11 or more, it's what I call an excessive result in a way. So you get what you wanted, but you go a little bit too far. So sometimes you use some important resources, you hurt people, you where you wanted just to, let's say, to repair someone, you hurt him bad, maybe you even kill him or her, things like that. How to add things to your dice? In fact, it's what I call the black bile. So you will have a pool of tokens. Or here we don't have tokens, which is a little bit more complex because of the Hangout format. But on the character sheets, you will have on top of the character, you will have some place to put the number of tokens you have. So simply, in fact, when you do an action, before throwing the dice, you can choose to add between 0 and 3 tokens, and they will be added to the results of your dice. That's basically it. So the last question would be, how do I get black bile tokens? In fact, you choose when you get one. Anytime when you consider your character is suffering, is getting humiliated, is not well for any reason, you can take between 1 and 3 tokens. As an MC, I don't have to judge you on that. I don't have to tell you why to take tokens. I don't, and the opposite also is true. If you don't take tokens when in a situation where I would think you should, it's your judgment. In fact, you decide when your character is taking black bile tokens. So that's a basic point. The idea being also that when you have 5 black bile tokens or more, I can let's say activate or launch rather a specific action which is exploding in a way, and I will suggest you a very dangerous or violent action, and you will have to bet 3 tokens on that action, and you will want to fail in a way in that action, because if you succeed, you will have to choose between doing the action or let's say keeping the black bile in your body, and the black bile itself will begin to fuse with your organs and things like that. So in fact, it's a system where when you have 5, when you get your fifth point of what I call mold, you gain a new level of mold, and when you gain a level, you begin to change into something else, which is not exactly a child. So that's it. Do you have questions right now about the system as it is, in fact?
I just want to put forward how excited I am to watch my child mold into something that they're not.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So if I look at the list of actions you have attack someone or assault someone when you want to hurt someone badly, or you want to repel him, or you want to just stop him or her from doing what they are doing, or if you want to take something important, you will use that. Run away when you are in a situation you want to run away from. It can be, most of the time, it could be a physical situation, but it could be, let's say, a conversation, an awkward conversation. You have play with matches for all the physical actions that are not attacking someone or running away. So if you want to go through a broken window or climb a tree or a building or something like that, most of the time you will do that. You have watch out. So because it's a game that is based on very proactive actions, it's not my job to tell you do a watch out role. In fact, it's not. I don't know, in other games, I think it's vigilance or something like that. It's not my job. So you have to say, I think the situation is dangerous, so I want to do a watch out move, in fact. Therefore, you can invest black buy tokens in that, etc., and maybe go too far. What is remaining? We still have, okay, we have convinced someone. It's clear enough, I think, when you want someone. Most of the time, to convince someone, the other person must at least have a reason to follow you. Maybe because it is or she is a friend or something like that. If you want to intimidate someone, most of the time, you will have to be a brute because it's a special move from the brute. And finally, you have confide. When you want to spend time, let's say, with someone and discuss about what you have on your heart and things like that, and you want, let's say, to get rid of everything that is waiting on you, you can have this action. But it also can be used to, let's say, extract in a way information from someone. For example, you give him info, you tell him how you feel, and you expect him or her to do the same thing, to tell you how they are feeling, etc., and maybe get some information or maybe help you after that.
I have a question. So
yeah.
Is convince, is it with anybody or PCs or non-player characters? Or
right now, as the game was done, in fact, you can convince a player character. If it's okay for you. Most of the time, I do this this way. So there is no system here, for example, of if you do what I tell you to do, I will give you an XP or things like that, how it is done in other PBTA games. I imagine that we will not, let's say, keep track of the XP during this session because it's too short. Okay, so let me look at the characters. So if we look at the characters, you will see that there are also, so there are wound levels, which are in fact in the game boxes. So you have 5 boxes. If you tick the 5th one, you are dead. And well, we will see when you get hurt how it goes. You have all characters have special moves. So the leader has command. The princess has seduce as an action, which are both in a way kind of specific use of the convince move, we could say. The weirdo has see, so it's when he has visions or tries to have visions. The brute has intimidate. And the little one has go unnoticed, which means that he is the only one who is able to really be discreet when he wants to be. Most of them have another move which allows you, in fact, to discard black buy in very specific situations. So the leader, it's when he leads his men or his people to a certain victory. The princess doesn't have that. She has the guarantee to be protected by a knight, which is here, who is here, Prisma Price. The weirdo can do that when he unsettles other people, even when he tries to be nice with them. And the brute can do that when he humiliates or summits those that are weaker than him. And the little one doesn't have that either. He has a bunch of children that are in a way ready to help him in most situations. And they all also have a list titled, among other things, I can take black buy when. These are purely guidelines. It's not mandatory. It's not the only way to gain black buy. It was just written in a way to help people to characterize in a way specific archetypes. So these are the situations where they would tend to gain black buy, where maybe others would not. So I think that's it about yeah, this I don't need about the global aspects of the game, I think, unless you see something else. So do you have questions or anything? Or okay, so maybe you can begin choosing the archetypes, or rather the characters you would like to play.
I think we've already chosen.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm just looking for a picture, because if I don't have a picture, I can't make it work.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm also looking for a picture already.
Geez, I better start looking for a picture.
Does anybody mind if I expand the expand one of the boxes at the top, like row 2, so that we can put pictures there?
No problem for me, at least.
Okay.
I'm looking for a weirdo.
Yeah, Pinterest isn't helping me that much. I must be using the wrong name. You know, I don't know the keywords to find this. Bad boy, but that's not it.
I put fantasy character kid weirdo. It is not what I want to be at.
Yeah, I've had bad luck. Don't even look for surfer dude. That just comes up wrong.
I think I'll just go with this because it's cute.
And they're too old. Because we're supposed to be 13 to 15, right?
Yeah, exactly. Except for the little one who is more 8 to 9.
Just do a Hollywood and cast a 20-year-old and say they're 15.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Okay.
I found Princess. Like I'm so stoked with it.
So of course I didn't say that, but you can of course change the gender or the sex of the characters you get. It's no problem at all.
Ooh, can I be a badass girl?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I come from a world where girls can be a badass.
Yeah, sometimes the archetypes can be misleading, but in fact you can be a male princess or of course a female brute or things like that.
Sure.
No
Yeah,
problem at all.
Yeah, no, I have that. That's not what I was saying.
Yeah.
I've played in Velvet Glove, okay? And my Layla was very badass.
Mm-hmm. So that's all we need to really pick then, right?
I'm incredibly excited about playing a character with a tiny mohawk. I never thought that I would be doing that.
So cute.
He's so angry and so cute all at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I found it. I'm psyched. Okay.
Oh God.
I like the mohawk a lot, actually. It's super cute.
I love it. It's so good.
Oh,
You guys are amazing at role-playing games.
it's gonna be a tight session. I'm like, oh my god, I'm able with like Sid and Krista and Fraser and Steven. This is gonna be amazing.
Yeah, watch I choke up. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think of things.
I forgot to talk about something that I'm supposed to talk. So of course we're about to play a game talking about kids getting molested in a way or in violent situations. So of course there is the X card. How to say that strategy? Tool in a way that is available. So if at any time things are getting a little bit too far, do not hesitate to put an X on the chat or to do an X with your hands. Maybe I will have to use that myself. I don't know. For the time being, I've never had to use it, but still, that could be a good idea.
Yeah, with this group, we might take it there.
Yeah.
Who's playing the brute? Who's
I
playing
am.
Little Black? That's an awesome picture.
It is so good.
Super happy that someone brought her in.
Yeah. I'm glad these are pretty good pictures.
Yeah, the princess rocks.
Yeah. I really like the
I love
leader.
it too.
Okay, so I'm trying to see. So do not hesitate to put your names also next to the name of the character, even though I will need some time, I think, to really know who is who.
So we can rename these characters too, right?
Yeah, if you want, no problem at all.
Like the character's name currently is Ashman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm Coco.
Nice.
Okay. Coco the weirdo.
Yep.
Okay, Needle Black. So I'm just gonna be called Needle, aren't I? I'll go with that. I'm okay with that.
I'm just gonna go to Cookie.
Oh, you know what? Can I be Boots?
Yeah, sure.
Boots is a great name.
That's a good name for a bully.
I really like Sapphire Princess.
Good. So I will also put that. Okay, so are we good?
I think so.
Okay, my map is not, let's say, gorgeous, but to say the least, but at least it can be useful. And the time for it, okay, it's not, yeah, okay, it's working. So we will need now the relation map, I think, to finish explaining the universe in a way. So, well, the problem is it was written with your names, with the previous names, let's say. So we'll have to remember that.
If it's that big a deal, I don't have to be Coco.
No, it's not big a deal at all. If it's okay for everyone, I don't mind at all.
I've already changed it, so.
No, the point is the relation map is more there to help everyone to remember all the NPCs that you have with you. Coco, so you have an apprentice named Cinderella, who is a boy. Most of the time, your nicknames, maybe you have chosen them for yourself, but most of the time they were given by other people. For example, Cinderella do not want to be called this way, but because he uses cinder, they called him Cinderella, and because he was the apprentice of, well, previously known as Ashman and now known as Coco. And that's the idea. So you have a few information, Coco, about Cinderella on your character sheet. The fact, for example, that he is the only one who knows also that you know that the fortress is condemned. At one time or another, people will die, but maybe he doesn't understand it as you do. The fact that, for example, you do that for their good, but you're not sure, in fact. Maybe you would have to confront him about this specific point. Sapphire Princess, you have, in a way, a relationship with Violet, who is a very, how to say, timid girl, who doesn't say a thing, but also who is very clumsy. She wants to help you decorate things, but she always does it the wrong way or things like that. So Needle Black now is Boots, if I'm correct. So Boots, you have a very specific friend who is called Boom Boo. She's a girl. She's kind of the second brute of the group. So you hang with her tons of time. Each time people do not give you a mission or things like that, and you like to martyrize in a way the little kids. You also have Ben Gunn, who is a guy who has a gun. He's the only one who has a firearm, but you don't know if it works. You don't know if it has bullets in it. He says that he is saving them for a good occasion, but no one has tried to take it from him or things like that. So it's a little bit dangerous. And then you have in a way, the gang of the small ones. You have Ao Chan, who is the oldest one of the oldest children in the group, but she's the one who is willing to take care of the small ones. So she spends time with them. She's kind of a mother for them. She could be, let's say, she would be a good leader if something happened to Prisma Price, but she doesn't really want that. She prefers to criticize her every choices and things like that, and kind of be the mother, in a way, the responsible person in the group. And so we have Cookie. I think you diminished that, if I'm correct. Yeah, Cookie, with his friends. So we have Silent Tim, never talking, Miss E, which is the diminutive version of Mischievous Eve, who is in a way a pain in the ass. She's always playing tricks and doing evil things, in a way. Diabolical girl. You also have Y Cody, who is a tiny boy who always repeats why, always asking why, whatever you do. And finally, Lily Stick, another little girl who likes to, in a way, poke things and people with a tiny stick. That's the idea of the gang of Cookie. So that is your entire group. Do you have questions?
I would like to say that I was Y Cody growing up, so I'm looking forward to seeing that character.
Okay. So, in a way to establish the where you are, you have decided to settle. You're in a big city, kind of New York-like city with tons of buildings, restaurants, shops everywhere, but most of them are empty. You have cars everywhere also, but maybe one of them would work, but first, you don't know how to drive a car. And second, those who have tried didn't manage to make them work. Plus, there are cars everywhere on the streets, and so it would be difficult to drive. What else? You have established your fortress in a Buddhist temple, abandoned one, with two big, let's say, metal doors on the front. Just behind them, there is kind of a box with a sign saying "Pick your fortune." Put $1 and pick your fortune. So there are tons of kind of not fortune cookies, because there are not cookies in them, but just fortunes that you can draw and read at any time. But right now you haven't done that yet. What else? You also have a big main room with a huge golden Buddha in the back, tons of candles everywhere. It's gilded everywhere, gold all around, red colors, things like that, and plenty of statues with smiling faces with big cheeks, kind of Buddhist ambiance. You also have a small kitchen that could be working, but you don't have food anymore. Maybe you have, let's say, some ketchup, something like that you can use. You put that in water, it could make a soup, at least for one day, something. Or maybe you have half a candy bar for the children. That's it. The one important food you had, you burned it to have the vision. Coco burned it to have his last vision, or her last vision, if I'm correct, if I look at the picture. And what else to finish with? Yeah, and finally, you have stairs going in kind of the basement, and the basement is occupied, in fact, by a big security door with a GG code that you don't have the numbers to open the door. You don't know what is behind it, and it's closed. And that's pretty much what you have for your fortress.
Did we establish the time period?
No, not at all. It's supposed to happen in modern days in a way, 21st century, something like that. It's raining all the time in this universe. Sometimes it's just drizzling, sometimes it's a huge tempest and things like that. And it's the sun rises, so you have nights and days, but you don't really know what season it could be.
So we always have water then, even though we don't have food.
If you're ready to drink water from which sirens are born, yes, you have plenty of water.
So scariest environment imaginable. Got it.
Yeah, kind of an endless autumn with monsters as a gift.
So wait, so if water pools inside the temple, can sirens come out of that water in the temple?
Well, the thing is, this place is in a way waterproof. So right now, no sirens are inside. But maybe if you did not, for example, if there were some cracks in the roof or things like that, it could become dangerous. But you chose also this thing because it's in pretty good repair.
Okay.
And this is sort of like a dreamscape, kind of, right?
Yeah, in a way, yes, we could say that. It's also kind of post-apocalyptic world in a way, as if suddenly the adults had all disappeared, but you wouldn't know why. Maybe you could have been transported into the future, something like that, after an apocalypse, or maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe it's just a dreamlike world. But in a way, yes, you're right, because sometimes you would discover after a while, but it's difficult because you have spent your entire life in this universe running away. You would discover that sometimes food reappears in places where there was none, and also the fact that sometimes you find fresh food. If it was a true universe, fresh food would not exist anymore. You would only find cans and things like that, or dry food if you're lucky, but nothing more.
Okay.
I'm getting like really strong This War of Mine. If anyone's played that board game or video game.
Yeah, I've played it.
Yeah, in fact, it was basically at first partially inspired by a trailer of this video game because I never played it.
Oh.
But yes,
Nice.
I admit it had an influence because the trailer was at least very good and the ambience was.
I'm very well prepared to be the leader then. I've had a lot of experience dying in that game.
Okay.
Sweet.
Okay, so you know all the solutions and the enigmas and things like that.
Well, I don't
You're not
remember any.
inspiring me with that death phrase.
I don't remember any sirens in this war of ours, though.
Well, the one I remember, there were invisible creatures, kind of dog-like things.
Oh shit!
The-
Okay.
The thing I didn't tell you is that sirens can take any form. In fact, there are as many forms as there are sirens. So they can be insects or kind of dogs or things like that. Normally, there is no regular animal in this universe. The only animals you will find are sirens.
Okay. Whew. Okay.
Maybe I will just close my door to let my child sleep.
So if you see a puppy, that's a bad puppy.
I was just gonna say, like, I just came out of a game yesterday where I beat up a dog. Like, I didn't think I was gonna get to do that 2 days in a row.
Okay.
Yeah, it's karma.
Yeah. Okay. So do we just have like was that the opening scene? Is us like seeing this environment?
I think we can consider, in fact, so let's say that the evening before you decided, you had the vision and you decided that everyone was okay to at least give it a try and decided. And this morning you arrived at the temple and we can begin at noon. In fact, you are eating what is left of your reserves. So I said the kind of ketchup soup and half candy bar for 10, and you have to choose what will be your next course of action. If we look quickly at the let's say sketchy map I did, you will see that I don't even see I can't even read my own map. Up north, you have seen that there was a big mall, but it's quite far away, maybe 1 hour, well, maybe 2 hours if you walk carefully. And you have to walk carefully most of the time. You don't run, or when you run, you don't know where you will end up. And also, maybe you send a few people just to look around to see what could be used or could be explored. And they saw maybe half an hour away, kind of a gas station with a supermarket element where you might find things. They didn't explore the place because their mission was not to pillage things, but to watch and go back to you. But they brought this information to you, and also they saw a huge plaza a few maybe half an hour away or 1 hour, but you don't know if it will be useful. So basically, the rest is pure ruined buildings and things like that. Maybe there could be interesting things in that, but it would take time, and you will have to organize an expedition and things this way. Who went to do the first tour of the environment?
Cookie did.
Okay. So I'm watching. So Steven, you're playing Cookie?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So you decided that you would go and explore. Okay. So of course, Aojan was against it, and she talked about it to Prisma, saying that it's impossible. We cannot say. Let's be reasonable. We cannot send a young child to explore ruins. They have to stay in the building, and then you can send someone more responsible. I don't know. Send Boots, for example. He knows how to deal with threats. What did you answer, Prisma?
I think Prisma sees Cookie as someone who is quite young, but as someone who can run with the big kids. So she trusts that Cookie.
Okay.
Yeah, because Cookie's very resourceful and willing to help out. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, she continued to disagree with you, but she didn't argue at the moment. She respected your decision, but you know that the moment a problem arises, she will go back to you and accuse you of being responsible for that. Did someone else go? And because Cookie, maybe it's Cookie alone, maybe it's not enough to do a real tour of the environment.
Who got that gun?
Okay, so Coco, you went also, or?
And Boots will probably go also. You know, she'll be smoking one of her cigarettes, and she just, I need more cigarettes anyway. And like, let's flick it.
Yeah, how many cigarettes do you still have?
I love that combo.
You know, she looks at the packs. I've only got 3.
Okay, your friend Bumbo doesn't have a cigarette anymore, so you know that she will tax you the moment you come back, as always. And then complain because there are no cigarettes anymore, of course. Okay, so right now we will begin when you have returned from your quick tour and you have given all the info you found, and well, decisions have to be taken about what to do next. Everything is to be organized. The place is okay. I forgot also to tell you that there was a room to get changed. So you have monk robes hanging on the walls. At least maybe for 20 people, adults. So not your size, most of you. But if you want to play with them, you can. Okay, so I leave you to decide what's next in a way. How do you organize the installation?
So we're organizing who should be going out and scavenging, essentially, right?
Maybe, or also who is responsible for the cooking, for example? Well, right now you don't have food, so it's easier, but you will have to. Or also to, in a way, who will do the decoration if they want to do something a little bit more close to what they like. Also, who will take care of the children? Well, most of the time it's easy. It's Aojan who will do the thing, but things like that, in fact, right now. And most of the NPCs, well, the kids are looking at Aojan, and Aojan is looking at Prisma Price, waiting for her to have a brilliant idea for the others.
So we've got food duties, like making the place look nice duties. Do we have places to sleep?
Yes, you have monk cells in a way. I considered that you have already distributed them. Some people said, this is mine, immediately as soon as they entered. The problem being that, in fact, I'm trying to remember how I distributed that. I think I settled that Sapphire Princess didn't get the cell that she wanted. It was Aojan who got the nice one, in fact, next to yours. One of the biggest, you know, because she said that she has the other kids to take care of, so she needs place. In fact, she needs space.
We gotta sort that out. That is not acceptable.
So Aojan is looking at you and she says, okay, so I imagine that you will send Boots to find food with a friend now.
Oh yes, of course. And then whoever Boots sees fit to scavenge with her.
Well, you have Boombo saying, you know, she sits comfortably and she looks at you and she says, I don't want to go outside. It's dangerous now. Why should I go?
Well, it's always dangerous. So I don't quite know why you're stressing about that.
Now we have a place to stand, and I don't want to go out today. Maybe tomorrow.
Why not today?
Well, because I still have to settle down now, and I'm tired. You remember last week I had to fight, and I'm still feeling a little bit rusty. Ask someone else. And, plus, Boot, he doesn't have to go. In fact, he went this morning. Send someone else. Am I right?
She doesn't want to go. I'll go. I'm better at this anyway.
Yeah.
So you've got an 8-year-old here showing you up. Fine, whatever.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm smarter than her.
No problem for me, she says. She doesn't seem to give a damn about the life of the little ones.
Cookie starts marching off toward the exit.
Okay, you have Aojan who stands up and goes towards you and says, okay, maybe we could calm down and just think a little bit about that. Exploring the environment, it's okay for a little kid, but going to somewhere maybe dangerous and take heavy stuff, no.
We'll get to grow up at some point.
But I'm hungry and I'm tired of eating ketchup.
Come on, finish your soup first, and then maybe we will talk. You barely ate half of your cup.
All right, Cookie's gonna grab his bowl again and wait for a chance to sneak out when she's not watching.
Okay. Well, right now she is turning her eyes towards Prisma Price, so maybe that would be a good time, or maybe a better time could arise, but that's an occasion.
Okay, yeah, I'm out. Gone.
Okay. So you run away. I will not. I don't think it would be useful to ask you for a test right now. It's not the right moment because they are, in a way, almost yelling at each other. So they don't really care exactly, and maybe they don't think that you would be ready to do such a dangerous thing. Or maybe we did. Okay, so maybe we could make a test now. That could be interesting. So yeah, I have given you the role. Yeah, the link to the role. I imagine right now that you don't have
any bile, right?
Tokens. Yes.
Okay, so
well, it's
just a
always your
straight
choice.
2d6.
Okay, it's yeah.
A mighty 6. Starting off strong.
Okay, so you go away and without anyone noticing it right now, and you leave the fortress. The others.
Well, Boot's not going to let Cookie run off,
Mm-hmm.
but Boot's gonna follow after. You know,
okay.
Boots is I'm sure going to have seen that Cookie was sneaking off, or notice very quickly that Cookie snuck off.
Yeah. Yeah, a few minutes after he left, you notice that he's not there anymore. At the moment, you say, it's exactly the kind of action he would do, and you turn around and you see that he has disappeared. While the others are still talking. So yes, during that, Ao Chan says, definitely not. He's not going outside anymore. Maybe tomorrow or maybe never, who knows? That could be a good idea, maybe to leave the kids live a little bit longer, for example, if you care. Prisma?
I mean, I don't know what to say. We need to stay vigilant and be bold and brave in these kinds of situations. I mean, I've come from a place where I grew up with nothing and I had to fight every day for it. So I don't understand why people are getting tired and complaining about things when we need to live and survive.
So do you say that to her? Or do you,
yeah.
Okay, you think it's...
She's like hard enough.
Well, maybe not everyone had such a difficult life as you did, but still, wouldn't it be a good idea at least to protect those who still have a chance?
I agree we should protect people, but who's going to do the protecting if none of us are going to stand up and take a stance?
So who's the person that Prisma's arguing with?
Ao Jan, the mother, in a way, of the little ones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so Boots is going to go up to her and get in her face and say, while you've been arguing, Cookie's already taken off. Cookie knows what he's doing. You really shouldn't underestimate him. This is ageism. And she says, so basically she's trying to shut her down. I don't know if that's intimidate or what we want to do, but she just wants to get this ball rolling. She's like, and she's also, you know, trying to play the game of like backing Prisma up.
Yeah. So I think intimidate is a good idea to do that. Letting you roll.
Not sure if it re-rolled. There's sometimes this lag.
Yeah, it's not always very...
Sometimes you have to refresh.
Let me try that. There we go.
Okay.
Got a 10.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect 10. So you shut her down in a way. She it's he or she, I don't remember with all the changes. It's a she, if I'm correct. Cookie. Yeah. No, I'm not sure.
Boots is a teenage girl. Cookie's a guy, a little
Okay,
kid, a
Cookie
little
is
boy.
a guy. Okay. Well, I didn't know he left. What should we do? She asks, looking at you and at Prisma, in a way, accepting the fact that you will decide what to do.
Prisma's gonna like clasp a hand on Boots' shoulder and be like, "You don't need to worry about this anymore. We've got it. Or Boots has got it."
Boots will nod calmly at that.
Boombo says, "I don't know why you are doing this."
Krista, you're muted?
Muted.
It didn't work? Ah! Okay, hold on.
Well, I can hear you now.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I turned off that push to talk app. It seems to get confused sometimes. It flips it. So when I'm talking, suddenly I'm muting myself by pushing. Not a good thing. Okay, so Boots says, "Boom, boom, get off your ass. You consume everything we bring back. Come on, you want cigarettes also. Let's go do this. Don't be such a wimp."
Yeah, don't be such a wimp.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you to convince her.
Okay. Let's see.
I have a question. Are there like aid rolls? Like, can I aid Boots?
Well, in fact, there is a system of what I call advantages and disadvantages. You can have as many advantages or disadvantages as the situation in a way imposes. And if you have more advantages, you are supposed to be in a position of strength, which means that you can add one after throwing the dice if you want. And the opposite would be I can remove one after the dice have been rolled if I want, if you have too many disadvantages. That's the idea.
Okay, well,
so maybe, yes, I can give you an advantage, the fact that you are 2 against her, to make her move her ass.
Or you could just tell Boots to fuck off because I rolled a 6.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
would
so
that make it a 7 with advantage, or?
Yeah, it would be a 7, but in this game, has just slightly, how to say, shifted the results. So you have to get an 8 to have a success, contrary to other PBTA games. So it's not enough. Even with the advantage, you would get a 7 if I'm correct. Okay, so she replies, okay, do whatever you want with your life, but do not drag me out with you. I'm not the puppy of Miss Leader here.
Don't come bumming any cigarettes off of me. And I think she'll turn around and swirl her trench coat as she does this and start making for the door.
So you hear mumbling in our corner, but nothing more. Okay, about Coco and Sapphire Princess. What do you do?
I'm thinking like maybe one of the kids is watching these people argue and being like, people arguing all the time, and they look through a corridor and it's like the one that leads to the basement with the door.
Mm-hmm.
And then we cut to Coco walking down the stairs with like dust falling from her rags onto the ground, and she wants to talk to the door, essentially.
Okay. So you kind of try in a way to have some sort of inspiration, special inspiration by talking with the door.
Yeah, I think like my touchstone for this will be like Phenomenon, where he does all these crazy things, but the relationship, as he describes it in the film, is he just asks them things like as if inanimate objects are people. So that's what I'm going with.
Okay. So one of the aspects of the character, maybe we can change that, but the idea was that also he had to burn things in order to, in a way, invoke supernatural powers or whatever it is he does. which is kind of a problem because right now you don't have really things, important things to burn, or maybe you have that I don't think of.
Can I burn a rosary from one of the monks?
Yeah, sure. You don't know if it will be important enough to you. Does it count if it was important to them if they are not here anymore? Something like that, but maybe it will work.
Yeah, maybe it's just a long shot. I gotta try something.
Okay, so I will impose you a disadvantage on this one.
Okay.
So maybe it will work.
Maybe it will. Who knows?
Who knows?
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to roll 2d6 that are going to be purple. I got a 6.
Okay, so I don't even have to use my my disadvantage. Okay, so let's see what will happen. Okay, so you okay, so you focus and you begin talking to the door. What do you say to it?
I think whenever I'm talking to something, I don't know if it happens for everybody else or just me and I'm imagining it, but I like put my hands on it and it starts shaking like a Japanese horror movie kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I say, I think I just ask what its name is.
Okay. She tells you that well, her name is not of your concern. In fact, that she doesn't know you. And in a way, who are you to come here? It's not your place here. In a way, she seems pretty hostile in a way to your presence.
Yeah, even strangers don't want me around. I ask her if it's because I'm dirty.
No, it's just she said that you are disturbing a graveyard here.
A graveyard.
And I'm the door of the vault of the tomb.
Oh. Does it make you happy guarding people?
I don't have to be happy to guard things. That's my role, in fact. Something you, I think, do not even understand, since you do not have a role in this life.
That's sad. I think I just say, I'll come back when you're happy, and I start skipping up the steps.
Maybe if you want to help me guard the tomb in 10, 20 years, maybe I will be ready to talk to you.
When you're ready, will you shout for me? Because I'm not sure if I will hear you.
Yeah, maybe I will, but if you go away, that means that you do not really care about the function I'm proposing you.
Well, I'm thinking of trying to angle for doing a confide, maybe, to make it trust me. And
well, I think since you failed, you botched the first roll, maybe it will not be ready, in fact, to discuss you with intimate matters or things like that. So you see that the door will be pretty closed in a way to conversation.
Okay, well, I'm going to, like, as soon as it says that, like, if you leave, I don't care, I sit down and I start playing, like, knick-knack paddywhack with it. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe intuitively you would say that maybe if you bring something more important, maybe spending 10 years of your life waiting in front of the door would be bringing something, at least something of your life, or something else maybe that would take a little bit less time, an object or something, a sacrifice, or I don't know. Maybe it will be ready to talk with you again, but yeah, right now she will just shut up in a way and wait in silence next to you.
Okay, well, I think I, like, put a hand on the door and I say, I will come back when people are, and I'll make sure that you like me. And then I leave, and like the end shot is you see like my fingerprint on the cold door fading.
Okay. So, Sapphire Princess.
Yes. Sapphire Princess has been asleep up until this point. She rises and walks out. She's wearing one of the monk's long flowing robes that she's trimmed, and like just costume jewelry head to toe. There's an empty spot on her right arm where some rosary beads used to be that she found here, and she couldn't find them this morning. I don't know where they've gone. And she walks out and approaches, I think, Boombo. Will approach Boom and say, Boom, I need your help to move my bedding. I'm sure you can understand it's not right for a princess to not have the nicest room.
So Boom is smoking, you know, the last part of a cigarette which was supposed to be finished in a way, maybe for 1 or 2 days, kind of smoking the filter, almost burning her fingers, and she says, I'm not sure I understand what you're saying to me. What do you mean? What do you need?
Boom, I need you to take everything that Outjan owns, and I need you to throw it somewhere. I need you to take all her, what last little scraps she calls clothes, and I want you to dispose of them for me.
Well, I'm not saying that I'm not ready to do something like that, but why would I do that for you?
I am your princess.
No, you're
You
not.
should be honored to serve me. And I throw the big lacy costume necklace I have, throw it over my shoulder. Batter an eyelid.
Okay, you're trying to, in a way, seduce her.
Oh, I'm doing my best.
Okay.
This is the best I got when it comes to seduce.
Okay, so maybe you can try, and we will see what happens.
All right. I'll put some. What do we? Let's go yellow dice on this table. Oh boy, that's a 6.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So
oh boy.
she stands up, and you know she comes close to you, like very close, and you see that she has maybe one head. She's one head above you, in a way. She's very big, very impressive, and she begins to push you with her chest, and say to you, "Listen to me, princess. The only reason why I haven't yet punched your face is because, well, out of respect for the group, because there are worse menaces than you. Well, of course, there are worse menaces than you. What menace is not more menacing than you are? But from now on, I would appreciate if you didn't approach me anymore with stupid questions or demands."
Okay, I'm running straight to Prisma.
Okay.
In tears, shocked and humiliated. Prisma, you need to save me.
Of course, Prisma's gonna like wrap her arms around the Sapphire Princess. She's like, oh my, what happened? Holy shit!
Prisma, she was really nasty to me.
I will kick their asses. Who is mean to you?
Boom.
Oh my god!
She said that I wasn't a princess, and I got the jewelry and everything.
That Boom is such a pain in my butt today. I can go talk to Boom if you'd like.
And she picks up your hands and like kisses the back of your knuckles and says, "Talk with these, my prince. talk with these.
These do all the talking for me all the time, so don't worry. And then she may also give like a chivalrous like kiss to the back of Sapphire Princess's hand, because I need to kiss someone in every game apparently. and yeah, I guess at some point Prisma would love to go and talk to Boom about this obviously terrible problem that the Sapphire Princess has totally convinced her that this is a priority one dilemma.
Okay, so let's go back this time to Cookie. So Cookie, you went out of out of Libreté, and you began to take the direction of what, in fact.
So you said that the gas station they hadn't really gone into yet.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's close by. He's going to start heading for. He's going to start heading for the gas station, and he's trying to stay on like sidewalks as opposed to any places that like water would pool. He's learned to like stay on flat surfaces, and he's being as careful as possible. But while he's going, he's also pouting because no one else has come out with him. He's all by himself. So he's got his brow furrowed and set because they've abandoned him to do the hard work again, like every time.
Okay, so the problem is because you had to be quite discreet, you know, you couldn't take the obvious way. In a way, you had just to take a detour, a slight detour, even though you were pretty cautious, and you began to get lost.
Okay.
And you do not exactly remember where the gas station was exactly, and after a while, you in fact the only, in a way, element of landscape that you can see that reminds you of something is the plaza that you already saw at one point. So the point is, because it's the only element you remember, you got close to it in order to find your way back to the station, or at worst it would be to Libreté, but at least it would be somewhere. And when you got closer to the place, you began to see some movement. And I don't know what you did. Well, I will ask you, in fact, what did you do?
Okay, as soon as he sees movement, he's going to go unnoticed.
Okay.
So remind me again. I think, you know, he's feeling, I think, abandoned. So the black bile, like, you get how much for that?
Between 1 and 3 for each time you can take, in fact, for example, 3 at one point, and the moment after 3 again, and the moment after 3 again. So it depends on. Most of the time, it's 3 at most for one moment, one specific moment.
Okay, I don't think he feels that intensely abandoned, so I'll say 2. I think is fair.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he'll try to go unnoticed as soon as he hits movement. So I make a roll for that, right?
I'm wondering, yeah, I think because it could be considered to be part of the fail you did before, but I think it will be. I think it will be okay for you to do it once again because it's a different situation.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I'd forgotten about that. Okay.
Yeah, in fact, that's why you got lost, because you failed the last test.
Okay, and I can boost the roll with
a black bile. In fact, you can invest as many as you want, 3 at most, and each invested represents a +1 on the final result.
Okay, I'm gonna add 2 to my roll. The 2 that I just took, I'm gonna jam on there.
Most of the time, I suggest people to, in a way, tell something to represent this investment. You know, because you are either you are taking risks or you are spending resources. Well, yeah, it will be difficult, but things like that. But it's not mandatory. Maybe you don't have an idea, and we will see if you fail if something happens.
Yeah, maybe I should roll in. I've got an idea, but let me get the roll in first, and then see what happens with it. So I rolled a 3 with investing 2, so the total is going to be a 5. So what I was going to have him do is just, I think, jump in a dumpster that he was passing by on the way to the plaza. So obviously, you know, maybe there's something noisy or loud or whatever in the bottom of that dumpster. Yeah. I'll leave that to you.
Okay. I didn't tell you also when you bet black bile, if you fail, you keep the tokens.
Oh, okay, cool.
If you succeed or if you have an excessive success, you spend them.
Okay.
You can gain more with an excessive success, of course, if situation becomes horrible or things like that. But you spend them. But here you keep them because you failed.
Okay.
Okay, so you're approaching the building and you see, in fact, two children, maybe big children, rather 15 or 16 years old, approximately. One of them would be, I have to check my list to be able to describe them correctly. One of them, okay, one of them looks like kind of crazy. In a way, he has kind of a hooded sweater with the hood hiding his eyes, gray one, and he's playing with a huge knife, the kind of knives you have never seen. Even Boots doesn't have a knife this big. And he's talking with kind of a guy a little bit heavy, who seems to be kind of cooler than the other. You don't really know what they are telling. That's why you were getting closer. And okay, and you get close enough to begin to hear what they are saying. And they are talking about, in fact, a certain Johnny, who is not here, apparently, maybe their leader. And they are saying that they, in fact, that they have noticed something they called tongers, but you don't really know what they are calling that, and that they should pay attention. And the other one is just paying attention to his knife and saying, if I find one of these tongers, I will play with it with this, and it will be quite fun, something like that, kind of crazy. And the other one says, are you crazy? These kind of things, they will eat you alive if you approach them. So if you see one, you come back immediately and you tell us, and we will deal with it. And that's what they are talking, and you are listening to them, when suddenly you have a hand which touch your shoulder. And when you turn back, there is another one of them, like someone same age approximately, but pretty well dressed and with an open shirt, on his chest, with no hair, of course, because he's young, and kind of a white shirt with a flannel, things like that. And he says to you, hey kids, are we lost? With a smile, a bit frightening in a way.
And I'm going to say,
he then stays, on your shoulder, and it's squeezing it in a way with rapacious, in a way, grasp.
no, I'm not lost. Are you?
I'm not lost. I'm living here, and you're not, if I'm correct. What's your name, kid?
Oh, well, this just seems like a matter of confusion then. This is my territory.
He laughs, and he says to you, let's say I would tend to disagree, but maybe you could come with me and talk with the others, convince them that it is your territory, kid.
Well, you better give me a moment, because I need to tell my friends not to point their guns in your direction. Otherwise, they'll shoot you. So
okay.
let me get out of the dumpster and tell them to back off before I come with you. Is that okay?
Yeah, he looks around you, waits a moment, and I think I will ask you a convince test.
Okay. I'm gonna definitely add my my 2 to this, and
Yeah.
I got something in mind for it. Total is a 7.
7.
So,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, you're quite
The
lucky
dice are
tonight.
not with me.
Yeah. Okay, so he looks around and says, well tried, kid, but I can see that there is no one. Plus, if there was someone, Red Rum and Wisdom would have seen them, I think. So you will come with me. And he grabs you by the arm, and he begins to drag you with him with force. up to the two others that look at you. And
Okay.
I will go back to Boots, who
Yeah.
went after you.
Yes. And the first question was, can I take a whatchamacallit, a black bile for the fact that Boom
Sure.
Boom dissed me?
As I said, you don't have to ask for permission. You can take whenever you want. Maybe it can be useful to tell me when you take, just because we don't have tokens in front of us to see that because of the hangout. But
actually, we can do it in roll for your party.
okay.
Yeah, we
I
can set
didn't
up.
know.
We can do tokens where they're. Yeah, there they are. Yeah, so I'll do a token and I'll make it red.
Okay. Okay, I didn't know we could do that. That's interesting.
Yep. Oops, I don't see where it went though. Maybe. Oh, there it is. Got it. Now I have a red token. Coolness. Yeah, you just put a number up in the token thing and submit it, and then you can have a token. Yeah, so I'm hoping that Boots is seeing this happening, and this would be the opportune time for her to come up behind them while they're distracted. And maybe this could be that ideal situation where two of them have their heads reasonably close together, and Boots can just go smack and smash their heads together.
The problem is when you get out at first of the fortress, you don't see Cookie anymore because he went a little bit further and he took another way. So, what would be your first reflex? How do you seek for him?
I would hope that Boots would know how Cookie thinks a little. And so if he didn't take the usual route, so she's bigger, so she would go faster for one thing, but so she might get there first, see that he's not there, and then turn around, going back a different way to see if she can find him.
Okay, so at first you take a certain direction, you don't see him, then you search somewhere else, you try and think like he would think, and where would he go if I were him? And that's why you arrive, let's say, a little bit too late in a way. And in fact, you arrive at the moment where you see him getting dragged by a guy and surrounded by three, let's say, not adults, but old children, same age as you are in a way, same strength in a way. Yeah, that's what you see, in fact, and they haven't seen you yet.
Cool. So can I sneak up behind them and smash two of their heads together?
Well, you know that you are not talented for that, which means that if you go there, they will see you most definitely. But you can go.
Is the dumpster between me and them by chance?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, sure. So can I push the dumpster into them while making this loud siren screaming noise to terrify them?
Okay, so you're trying to intimidate them.
Yeah,
you could say something like that. So you push the dumpster and yelling as a siren would do. And hoping in a way to take advantage of the moment to bring the kid back. Okay, so let's do that. I will give you a disadvantage though, considering the situation. I don't know. Well, you always do 6s and 5s, so I don't think you will need that, but still.
Well, I got a 10, so...
Okay, so even if I remove 1 from that, it's still a perfect result. So you push the dumpster, you begin yelling. The other guys, maybe there are 2 of them begin to run away in the direction of the plaza, and the other one, the one with the knife, in fact, he begins to look around to see if something happens, and you just have time to take the arm of Cookie and begin running with him in a way. I mean, we could say that.
As he takes my arm, I'm going to very calmly look at the guy that grabbed me and say, I told you this was my territory.
Okay. He doesn't take time to listen. Maybe he heard you, but he was too occupied running away from the pseudo siren that appeared. Okay, so and you begin to run away in the opposite direction, maybe towards Libreté. I imagine. Just guessing.
I don't think so. I think we're going to try and complete what we're supposed to be doing.
Okay, you go straight to the gas station to take as much as you can. Okay, good. I will go back to you in a few seconds. So the others, we were waiting, I imagine, for a discussion between Bumbu and Prisma, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I like that we had this very intense scene when people almost died. I'm like, you know what we need to talk about? We need to talk about the betting situation. So I'm looking forward to this.
So when you find her, in fact, she has finished smoking a filter in a way, and she's mumbling about the fact that she would like, she would like a cigarette, in fact, and she's bored. You can see that immediately that she's bored and she's alone, and maybe she's not even inside the fortress; she's just in front of it, which might not be a good idea, in fact, but.
Nice. I picture it's like raining a little bit, like not rain, but just like a little tiny bit of and I think from Prisma's perspective too, like this is a real serious problem. Obviously, the Sapphire Princess is very upset, so she's gonna go at this like this is a legitimate problem. So she's gonna sort of like stroll up to Boom and be like, "What the hell, man? Like, why are you causing so many problems today?"
I'm not causing problems. The others, they keep asking me stupid things, and I don't know. It's your princess there. She went and she thought I was one of her servants, or I don't know what.
Well, like,
I'm not here to serve her.
Congratulations, you made her cry. Like, we're supposed to be coming together as a family, and we've got people fighting and crying.
Well, when she hears that, she begins to smile. Really, I made her cry.
Can I like
Can you end this bitch? Yes, you can.
can I rely upon my command move? So I notice it says like a group of NPCs. Oh, cool. So I would like to look.
She's considered to be a member of a group, so you can command her definitely.
So I would be like, wipe that smug smile off of your face and go and help Sapphire, who I just noticed has dropped off of the call.
Yeah. Oh, get back.
Yeah, so
okay.
So yes, Prisoner would like to command Boom to actually serve Sapphire.
Okay, good. So let's go with the roll.
Cool. I'll roll some purple dice.
Okay.
I got a 10.
Beautiful 10. Okay, so she stops smiling, saying that you do not take it, let's say, the funny way, what she did. And she says, she groans in a way and saying, okay, I will go if that's what you want. But I don't think you will like what is about to happen. And she goes inside and she goes to you, Sapphire.
Yep.
And she says to you, well, okay, so show me where the stuff is and where I should put it.
And that's when I show up and I'm like, if you were a door, what would make you happy?
What?
If you were a door, and I speak slowly as if she was adult then.
Yeah.
What would make you happy?
Okay, she looks at Sapphire, waiting maybe for her to make sense of that thing.
I get frustrated and throw up my hands and like dust comes off me, right? And I'm just like, fools! And I go searching for something that would placate a door. I just wanted to interject, like you guys could continue the scene. I just wanted to fuck shit up.
Yeah, no problem. Did you understand the thing she said? Yeah.
Frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Princess just needs to think a little.
Yeah, I think
I really wanted to door thing.
Oh, there you go.
At some
Sit
point.
at your back.
Sorry, I froze out for a bit there.
Oh, no problem.
I was marveling at that Coco interjection too much. I just loved it. So I just put my hand out and just like wait for Boombo to submit to me, to kneel, to kiss my ring.
Okay, she looks at your hands. And what are you expecting? You want us to shake hands? I don't understand.
Yeah. Oh, Boom. You've got a lot to learn about the hierarchy of a true society. You see, and this is like we turn and walk together. At the top, there are princesses and there are knights, and at the in the middle, there are people with guns, and at the bottom, there are the muscle. And I think we get to Outjan's room, and she probably wouldn't have brought many possessions. I'm imagining there's probably like a blanket or something like that. I don't know what kind of things does she have in her room
That's the kind of things you have. Maybe some of you have things they brought from the real world in a way they had when they got lost. Others might have found few elements. Well, if you look at your character sheet, you will see that you don't have much.
I think it's kind of indicate to it all. Gather this up, take it to Coco, and tell her that. Sorry, I actually missed Coco's pronouns. Cool. Tell Coco that anytime they want to burn something important, well, this might have to do.
Okay, this I can do, she says. So she enters Ao-chan's room. She takes. Well, she's not completely stupid, so she waits for Ao-chan to be somewhere else, occupied with the kids or things like that. And then she enters the room, she takes all the clothes, and she goes to you, Coco.
I think I continued on my path to Prisma, and I'm like crying on the steps, and I'm mumbling about like, if I can't even make a door happy, how will I ever fit in?
Oh. Can we do the scene, please?
Sure. Yeah, like I had just thrown up my hands, and I go to like the entrance, and there's like a little bit of rain falling, and it's like really misty. And then at first the rain like hits my cheek, and then it sort of like breaks my spirit, and I begin to cry. And I mumble incoherently about like how like you make out just like the odd word, and it's like door, unhappy, other people, friends, no friends, stuff like that.
Prisma is totally gonna let out a bit of a sigh, like, oh my god, I'm dealing with so many people's problems today, and I've got so many problems of my own. But of course, like, she sees Coco distraught, and is gonna like presume a seat next to Coco, and then put a hand on Coco's shoulder and be like, hey, what, you okay? What's wrong?
She looks up like blubbering, and is like, I tried to do something good. I tried to talk to the door in the basement and get us all into the door, because everyone was like, what's in the door? And I wanted to know what was in the door, but then I talked to it, and it was kind of mean to me, to be honest. Like, it didn't want to be my friend, and nobody else wants to be my friend. And yeah, so then I was gonna play with game with it, but instead it was like, go away, Coco. So I went away.
Charisma like sort of puts a hand on Coco's and says like, Coco, you're a weird kid, but I consider you my friend. And if you really want to get in the store, I trust your intuition. And how, like, that fucking door, how dare it be mean to you?
Exactly. But
what do you need?
I'd rather have a friend like you than a friend like a door. So
Aww. Is it okay if I hug you?
Yeah. You may.
First, was gonna give Coco a hug and ask, yeah, what do we need to screw over this motherfucking door?
Well, it said that I needed to wait until I was older. What if we tricked the door and we all went down there, and then all of our combined ages was as much as 10 years, and then it thought we were a 10-year-old, and then we went in?
I like that a lot. We could even like stand on top of each other and put on a massive coat and then like put on a fake mustache and it'll be great. No, I'm kidding. That sounds like a good idea. We should, when everyone else gets back, gather everyone at that door and we'll find a way in, don't worry.
I think she just like starts beaming and like sinks into your hug some more.
Aw, it's so sweet.
Yeah.
At the same time, you have Bumbo who is coming, and she's kind of waiting a few meters away for you to finish what you're doing in a way. She's embarrassed by such tenderness in a way, or something like that.
We should invite her to the hug.
Yeah. Okay. She doesn't want. She okay. You guys do whatever you want.
But it's a move,
I just
right?
have to talk. I just have to talk to Coco. I just want to talk to Coco in private.
Okay, well, can this moment be confide to see if she comes and hugs us?
No, she's not ready for that. To confine you, you have to have someone in front of you that might be ready to.
Okay, fair enough.
Too soon for Bumbo.
When Boom indicates that they want to come over and talk to Coco, Prisma gets up and she's like, fine, but if you make Coco cry, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Okay, you tell her that?
But like, yeah, she's just going to indicate, like, you better not make my friend cry.
It will be it will be quick. It's just business.
Business.
Which is weird, because what business could she have with Coco and in this situation that you do not know about? Or strange, but
yeah, I like just brush off the tears on my rags.
when Prisma leaves, she says to you, "Well, okay, I was given a task. Sapphire Princess told me to go to you. I have important stuff to give you, and she told me that you could burn it if you wanted to for your mumbo jumbo things that you do. I don't know if sounds clear for you, or
Oh yeah, this makes a lot of sense. I think that this will help us maybe even get in the door.
okay, yes, the door. Yeah, you talked about before. Yeah. Well, I will just put the things right here at your feet and leave you with whatever you have to do with that, if that's okay.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Are we clear? It's okay.
And I like go extend my hand and like for a handshake.
Okay, she looks at your hand for a moment, and then she touches it in a way. It's not exactly a handshake from her, but at least she makes a move in your direction.
Okay, that's good enough.
Okay. So you in a way you squeeze the tip of her finger. That's all she gives you, but and then she leaves as quick as she went, maybe even quicker.
Okay, sounds good.
She left in front of you a pile of rags, a blanket, and maybe a photo that she found. And when you look at the picture, you see Aojan, a younger version of her, with her parents, maybe.
I can't burn that. But
At
maybe
least
the clothes.
Okay. At least you know for sure that the picture is of huge value, and it would make a tremendous sacrifice in a way for your visions. But maybe it's a little bit too much.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so that's the idea. During this time, let's go back to our explorers that are doing the Fallout part of the game, if I understood correctly. Okay, so you went straight to the gas station. You didn't get lost this time, and you well, let's go right to the point where you are in. You see the gas station. You are next, maybe to the corner of a building, and you are, well, what are you about to do? Everything is silent, no movement at all right now.
Well, I think we want to go inside and see if the gas station has any cigarettes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you go, both of you, straight toward the gas station. Well, of course, with a few cautions, but let's say you don't send, for example, the little kid, which is more discreet, in front. You go with him just in case there was a problem.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Okay.
this is Boots. Boots is,
Okay.
Boots is
Yeah,
confident.
I think they're hanging together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Well, you go to the gas station, then okay, you see the pumps and things like that, and you enter the what could be considered to be a small supermarket, something like that. Inside is like, we could say, a treasure room in ways. There are cans, there are gas bottles, matches, cigarettes. Are there cigarettes? I don't know, but this is my lack of American culture to know if there are cigarettes in a supermarket next
There
to the
are.
station.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah. Gas stations always have cigarettes.
That's their
Okay,
main item, really.
Okay, good. So, in fact, it looks like it has already been quite looted in a way, but there are still examples of many items and things like that. So there is also alcohol, hard drinks and things like that, whiskey. So you have a little bit of everything, and candies also.
Are there fireworks?
Good question.
If this
Yeah.
is an American,
Yeah, okay, so I trust you with that. There are fireworks.
Depends what month of the year, though, right?
yeah, it
Yeah.
does depend on what month of the year. But
Okay.
yeah, so based on that last encounter, I think he's gonna take like the black cats, the ones that make the like pop, 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 you know, just rapid pops, and a lighter.
Okay.
I guess there's one of those if there are
Yeah,
cigarettes. I've got a plan.
sure. Okay. So what do you take? There are more things that you can carry with the both of you, especially since Cookie is a little bit small.
I think Boots will pull up like a bottle of like vodka and look at Cookie and say, Hey, Smarty, what do you think happens if we pour this in a puddle? Think that'll hurt one of those siren things?
I don't know. What is that?
It's vodka.
What's vodka?
Never mind. That's for later. It's an alcoholic drink. People drink it sometimes to relax. Anyways, meanwhile, so she shoves the vodka into her backpack.
If that makes people feel better, let's get more of that.
I like the way you think, Cookie. So I guess she'll grab some variety of that and some matches, and anything else that might be probably bandages and protein bars, because if they're still protein bars here, that'll be like good energy.
Here, let's use this. And Cookie's gonna grab if there's a shopping cart or anything larger that we could put stuff in that we could wheel back. He's gonna start throwing stuff into that, canned goods, ramen noodles, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, you charge it. You put as many things as you can in one of them. And,
but he jams the firecrackers down his pants.
Okay.
Because that's the best place to keep them, of course.
Hey, they're not going anywhere.
Okay, good. Okay, when you are almost ready, you have put many things and you are still wondering, what if we put that and things like that. Suddenly, let's say, well, maybe not Cookie, but Boots, when you turn back toward the exit, you see that how to call that, a silhouette, a figure, a dark figure, passes in front of the window. Impossible to say exactly what it is. It looks like maybe what you take from movies, maybe you have seen or things like that. It looks like someone with a gas mask, but with a very long muzzle, which is strange.
So I think Boots is going to like duck behind something to get out of sight, and if Cookie's not doing it, then pull Cookie out of the way also. Did you see that? Cookie, hide!
Yeah,
Okay,
and Cookie is just instantly going to duck into the smallest space possible. He's not going to ask for, additional information at this point. He's done this before.
So Boots turned to look for him, and Cookie's already gone. I got it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he's out.
Okay, so you wait for a moment. I imagine that you try to have a look toward the exit itself, and you see the door which begins to open slowly. And I don't know if you take the risk to look at it or if you remain completely hidden.
Do I have the chance of like sliding out and kicking the door shut?
Yeah, sure, you can try. No problem. Okay, I think it would be an attack, something or someone.
Or play with matches? I don't know. When I want to try something physically.
Oh yes, play with matches would be a good idea. I have to open the door. The cat is meowing.
Oh, ouch!
Cats.
That didn't work.
Yeah. Okay, so what was the result?
Oh,
2.
2. Okay, that's beautiful. That's the most beautiful result of the evening. Okay, so you jump at the door immediately and you run as fast as you can. And when you arrive at the door, you see something that could be a child, maybe, considering the rest of the body. But instead of the face, it only has one tongue, red tongue, very long, very pointy at the end. And that's it, instead of a face completely. And when you see that, you stop. Like self-preservation instinct, and you end up on your bottom on the floor in front of this creature, which begins to advance in your direction, and the tongue-like, tentacle-like thing begins to move in the direction of your mouth, in fact.
Oh, damn! Worst porn movie ever. It's like she's gonna kick at the tongue with her boots.
Okay, so I go to Cookie, who has time to react, because you, in a way, because of your failure, you are quite frozen by fear or something like that, at least.
Okay, sure. So maybe just scrambling back a little.
Mm.
Okay. So Cookie has that lighter and that roll of firecrackers in his pants.
Mm-hmm.
So he's actually going to light, like they all go off in a string when you light them. That's one of the cool things about him. So he's going to grab the whole stack of 100 and light the end of it with that lighter and throw it at the back of the creature.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Well, I think it's attacking someone, so I will let you roll for that.
It's going to go hilariously wrong. Total of 3.
Oh, a nice one. Okay, so you, in fact, you're also so frightened by the thing that you begin to try to light it up, and your matches, they don't work. You know, you break them on the lighter or things like that. And therefore, I go back to Boots. So the creature begins, its tongue begins to seize your tongue and begins to pull it out of your mouth in a way, and begins to hurt very very much. So what do you do?
I'm gonna pull out my knife because I think we established that I had one, and grab its tongue, pull it, and hack it off.
Okay. So I let you roll for that once again.
Okay. And you just got this look of total disgust on Boots' face. Like, ew, 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 ew. 7. Can I spend the token later? After the
No,
roll,
you're
or only
supposed
before?
to. But I think mercifully we could consider that you would use them. Maybe if you forgot to use them at first, because that would be the kind of case where it would be useful to use tokens, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I definitely would have used that token. So then that means I don't have that token anymore, right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Okay. Cool.
So you get an 8. That's the ID. Okay. So perfect. So you barely manage it, but you manage it. Okay. So you cut, if I'm correct, the pseudo tongue of the creatures, which begins to yell. You don't know how it does because it doesn't have a mouth, at least that you can see, and it runs away. In fact, with and you have this thing still attached to your own tongue, moving. You're sure that at least your tongue got 1 centimeter longer because of the encounter, which is kind of weird. You tend to chew it when you move your teeth. And in fact, when the thing turns around and that you see its back, you see that in fact it has a hollow head behind with eyes and a mouth inside, and that's where the sound is coming. In fact, as if it had been turned inside out in a way. And maybe that's what would have happened to you if it had pulled a little more, but you don't know. And it runs away yelling in the city, leaving you alone.
Okay, I think Boots is going to pull out that bottle of vodka and open it and pour it on the tongue.
Okay,
and maybe try and have a swig while she's at it. Ugh.
Yeah. It burns terribly, but at least you're alive.
Yeah, but because I was hoping that maybe the other tongue would react. You said that other tongue is still tied to my tongue.
Yeah, I forgot that. Sorry. Okay, so you put it on that, expecting or hoping for it to go away.
Well, and
it begins to move. It begins to move even, let's say, quicker and stronger, and it begins to, to squeeze your own tongue in a way as a reaction, and it hurts even more. Therefore, so what do you do, Cookie?
I think Cookie is going to. Cookie notices that this other tongue is stuck on there. It's stuck on his tongue. So I think he's going to walk over and say, "I have to do everything," and he's going to grab Boots's knife and try to cut that other tongue off of his tongue.
Okay, so I think it's playing with matches here.
You better hope I don't mess this one up. My rolling's not been great. I'm going to add my 2 to this.
Okay.
Because I still have them. And I got a total of 5. Sorry about your tongue there, buddy.
Okay. So, yeah, in fact, you try to cut it, but you cut, parts of it, but you cannot really dare to really cut the whole tongue of your friend, in fact. And the thing, in fact, squeezed so much that you cannot remove it anymore. It's like as if his tongue has become 2 tongues attached to each other in a way, which occupies a huge place in his mouth.
Okay, Cookie looks at it and says, "I can't get it. Weird. That's really gross." While you're screaming or squirming in pain.
Yeah, I'm picturing like knocking shelves off and stuff like that as I scramble around, as Boots scrambles around. And I think is it still advancing and trying to merge with my tongue?
No, in fact, it has reached some kind of consensus, we could say. So it hurts still, but it has stopped progressing in a way, as if it had it was satisfied with this state of fusing with your tongue in a way.
Does that hurt?
Yeah. Okay. I know the thing.
Do you think of it?
Well, come on, we got to get back. We can't stay here for any longer. More of them could come. Hurry up. And Cookie goes and grabs the trolley and his firecrackers and starts trying to push him out of the store.
Okay. And you leave the store as fast as you can, heading towards Libreté, and you begin to you guess that you can feel that there are other things coming closer from all the alleys and things like that, and things like this one, attracted by the noise you made, or maybe the suffering of their sibling, for lack of a better word. But because you run, you manage to lose them behind you. But you know it would have been dangerous to stay here a little bit longer. And after a while, you reach Libreté at last, with all your merchandises and things like that.
Okay, Cookie runs up and he's pushing the stroller ahead of him, and he lets it slide the last few feet, and he runs up and bangs on the door. Hey, let us in. We have cigarettes.
Who is supposed to guard the door?
I bet Cookie's gang would be like eagerly awaiting his return.
Okay. So you're the one. Yeah. Okay. So you have all the little kids opening the door and saying, "Come in, come in, come in, quick, quick!"
Hey, great, thanks, guys. And he drags it in behind him and is like, "Oh yeah, Boots also got hurt. Something's wrong with him. Someone needs to fix that." And then he just wanders off like distracted.
Why? What happened?
I don't know. Ask him. He's got a Snickers bar in his hand.
Yeah. What happened? They ask Boots.
Hey! Get off!
Why is he talking funny?
Get off!
He didn't talk this way before.
I think Boots will pull the tongue out a little bit, pull it by the like with a glove probably, grab the other part of the tongue that's not hers and pull it out so that the others can see.
Okay, they yell as soon as they see that, and they begin running away in all directions. And
Cookie just like perches himself up onto like the column base on one of these big pillars and is like eating the Snickers bar and is like, yeah, one of the sirens attacked him. It stuck its tongue down his neck, like he does with Boom sometimes, but this was way grosser. Also, he got vodka, which sounds really cool.
Okay, so quickly, I imagine that all the fortress gathers in the main room to discuss what happened, and the fact also to have a look at all the things that you brought, but which might be a little bit less important now than the state of Boots herself. So I let you discuss that as you wish.
I feel like the person that's leading this discussion, right? Is that fine?
Sure. I think that's your job.
So I feel like Prisma would call together her coterie of like most trusted allies, who is Cookie, Coco, Sapphire, to get a better look at this tongue. Like she'll make Boots open her mouth to like stick it out, and then she'll inspect it a bit and be like, "Oh my god, this is really dangerous for our colony." Coco puts a hand on Coco's shoulder and is like, "I get the door is a really big problem, but I could sincerely use your help and like getting a feel for this situation, because you're like a weird kid and this is kind of weird. So like, I reckon you're the right person for this job."
It is strange. I give you that. Yeah, Coco will help. I just like look up with anime eyes and nod.
I didn't ask, but Boots and Cookie, did you tell them all what happened to you, or did you hide some elements, just in case?
Well, Boots can't really talk much, so unless she's writing down things, as Cookie's telling things, she's probably writing down things. That's wrong. That's wrong. That didn't happen.
Yeah. So like Cookie throws the wrapper of that Snickers bar away and like dusts his hand off and is like, well, I got attacked by 3 kids out in the plaza. I think they were going to try to skin me or kill me or something, but I pretty much got myself out of it. And then Boots showed up, I guess. So we went to the gas station and took a bunch of stuff. And then the siren jumped on him. And I took everything we needed and got it all back here like I always do. And yeah, that's pretty much everything.
And Boom Data Dude, that bastard.
Seems legit. Are you angling for me to try to understand how to reverse it or something?
Yeah, whatever you can do, man.
Okay, sure.
You might have to burn a photograph or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, everyone has seen me do this before to get us here, right? So I think I have like a knapsack or something, and I outpour the picture and the clothes in front of everybody, and I'm sure everybody knows that it's, you know, the other kids' belongings, and I say that I might be able to find out, but I have to.
Okay, Aojan has big eyes when she sees that you have a picture.
Yeah.
She would have stood out if there were, let's say, less important matters to do. But here we have a guy with a girl with a thing attached to her tongue, and so she waits for you to talk before reacting.
Yeah. I think that I know the picture thing is wrong, so I like put it in my hand, and my hand is like shaking a lot, and I like go to give it back to her, and I say I just need to burn the clothes, if that's okay.
She takes the picture, you know, with a swift gesture, like that, and she doesn't seem to be happy at all. And she says, "Why would burning my clothes help you?"
In order to find out something or to talk to somebody else, you have to give something of value up.
But my clothes have no value. It's just clothes, things I found in the way.
If they had no value, then you wouldn't be defending me not burning them.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to understand if you're truly saying capable of using that to do something interesting, or if you're just a pervert.
That
escalated quickly.
Can Prisma step in to defend Coco? So at that, Prisma is like, I've had it to hear with this bullying that's been going on in this place. We can't be mean to each other. We need to get along and be friends. How dare you call Coco names?
Okay, sure. Let's be friends. Let's burn my clothes. That's what that's what friends do, after all. No, that's the idea.
I would love to command.
Okay.
I feel really mean. And the pitch is like, by sacrificing these clothes, you're doing the greater good, and if we don't, we may be in a much worse situation than being naked.
Okay. So I'll let you roll the command test.
Oh, let's see. I got an 11.
Also,
11?
Can I take a token for her saying that I'm a pervert? Because I think that hurt a little bit.
Of course.
Okay.
That could be a good occasion. Okay, so she listens to you, and then she throws, in fact, the picture at your face, Coco, and she says, "Okay, let's burn that while you're at it. I don't mind. Do what you want."
I think I'm like, okay, sorry.
And she gives you Prisma a mean look in a way, and you know that she might make you pay for what you did in a way.
With a kiss.
Prisma just like Prisma's just gonna like stare it back down and not feel threatened by that. Be like, come at me.
Yeah.
Okay, so
While Coco's getting weird on, Sapphire covers Cookie's eyes.
And Cookie reaches up and like grabs Sapphire's hand and like pulls it down just so he can see over it.
okay, so I roll +1 with the token.
Yeah, exactly. And I will give you an advantage for the preciousness, let's say, of the sacrifice.
Okay.
Because after all, it's if you burn the picture, of course.
Oh, if I burn the picture?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll do that, but I feel bad. Come on. That is 4 + 4 is 8 + 1 is 9, and 10 for the advantage.
Okay. So, and what you wanted to see was what exactly? How to remove?
Yeah, how to remove the tongue and perhaps like therefore the nature of what this thing is.
Okay, so let's see. So you begin to, in a way, smell the fumes of the cloves and the pitcher burning. You know, with the chemical products in the pitcher, maybe helping you to see things.
And like do we have electricity? If there's flame, then it flickers and stuff.
No, you don't. You don't have electricity, but there are candles.
Candles. Yeah, they like flickers.
Okay, so candles begin to flicker at this moment, at the same moment, and you're in a way having a vision where you see Boots' tongue slowly, in a way, colonizing her mouth, becoming one with it, and you know that in fact you know that in a few days it will detach itself from the mouth, and you see maybe you see yourself sleeping, and you see the tongue getting closer, you know, to you, like some kind of alien facehugger thing, coming close to your neck and trying to strangle you. And so that's when you stop having this vision and you go to another one at the same time, and you see a candy shop with tons of not candy bars, but the candies on stick that you can lick.
Lollipop?
And you see that, yeah, lollipop, exactly. And you see that most of them have been licked. There are traces of tongues on that, and you see many sirens, the same kind that they described, that Cookie described, in fact, that are in a way wandering in this shop, like it is their kingdom in a way, and with their tongues, you know, touching everything around and things like that.
Okay, and I think especially because
and maybe just to answer your question, so there are several ways that could be made clear out of your vision. Cutting the tongue, of course, but that you didn't need a vision to do that. Waiting for it to detach itself, or maybe after all burning it, because burning always helps from your point of view.
Right. Yeah, and I think like since it's supposed to be off-putting, I think like they reject me for my differences. While this is happening, my like you just see the whites of my eyes, and I kind of have like my mouth up like this as I'm smelling it, and then it becomes like the sound in The Grudge with the right, like as if it's choking me, but people don't know that, right? Because Because I'm a strange. But yeah, and then I sort of like collapse into like an epileptic shock for like a few seconds and then roll up. And I'm like, you're never gonna believe this. And then I'll just convey what I saw. So we don't have to re-talk about it or whatever. We'll just assume everybody. So what you want to do? It's your tongue.
Yeah, I was gonna say Prisma's reaction is like get real serious and dark, and then just look at Boots and be like, "What do you want to do?"
Burn it.
Well, you know what we could do is if it detaches after a couple days, if we get that door open, we could just put you in there, and then it couldn't come through the door at us, and maybe it'll die or whatever.
V. Get off me! Get off me!
So that's a no.
Yeah, that's definitely a no. Yeah.
The door does seem like
Bumbo intervenes at the same time, saying, "Of course, it's a no. What do you think? Will not close him down. He would die."
So Boots is, I think, gonna get more of the vodka that she brought and pour it on and give the lighter. Not waiting for anybody else, I guess, or ask, probably ask Prisma, to light it, to light the tongue, to burn the tongue.
Oh man, Prisma's gonna look at Boots and be like, "If this is what you want, I'll do it."
Get off me!
So I guess Prisma's gonna try and burn off the
Okay.
with vodka and a lighter.
Bumbo comes next to you and says, "I will help." And she goes behind Boots and she grabs his arms in order to prevent her from moving during the operation. And she tells you, "Come on, friend.
Let's do it."
I will be with you." Okay.
This one's my cigarette.
Okay, so you.
Or does it roll for this? Like, does this? Do we get to know?
Yeah, I think there is a role for this, like playing with matches.
Yeah, literally
Yeah,
play with matches.
I think we're literally playing with matches here.
Yeah.
Does Sapphire even like? Are they even able to watch this, or what? Are you?
Yeah,
That's a good question.
That's I didn't want to jump in because I was loving it. Sapphire is like trying to leave, but I want to take Cookie with me. I don't think Cookie should see this.
Well, Aojan is already grabbing all the kids and bringing them outside the room.
I think as she's doing that, Lily's stick runs up like giggling and like pokes her stick into Boots's mouth and pokes the tongue a couple of times.
Okay. Yeah.
And then like runs back giggling to herself before Aojan can grab her.
Yeah. Well, she gets a slap for what she did, but she did that, yes.
Cookie, this is not a sight for the young ones. Come with me.
He's procured like a can of Pringles, and he's like eating that, and he's like ducking around you and trying to watch what's happening every step of the way as you push him out.
Okay.
I'm happy to leave you in here, and I'll storm off with frustration. And I'll take some black bar for it as well, but I'll storm off.
And Cookie is actually like, while all this is happening, like, I'm not going to dwell on it, but like, I want him to go and find some private spot up in the eaves and overhangs of the temple so that he can look out over the surrounding area and be by himself, but keep an eye on what's going on outside the temple.
Okay.
I think if it's all right, I would feel like everyone gets rounded up except for me, because Ao-chan is like, you're kind of like a freak. Like it's like an unconscious prejudiced thing. And although I also shouldn't be seeing this, I'm left there to watch it, and I take another token.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Boots forgot. I think through all of this, it's played into her being not supposing to be a victim, so she took 3 bile for that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not seeing much of your tokens because there are. I don't know. I don't see the bottom of the page of the role for your party.
Oh.
I don't know why. Oh, okay, it's working now. Okay, now I see. I see your dice. I see some tokens. I see sapphire tokens, but I don't see the tokens of the others. If you also use the same way.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I have one below my name
Okay.
on the dice
Yeah,
roll
that's
there.
what I do not see, in fact, which is weird. I don't know why.
Just try reloading it because I did it
Maybe
recently.
you're right. Yeah, you're right. I think it's just easy as that. It's not working better, but it's not very important. But maybe if you could put your names a little bit higher, I would see them, I think, with the tokens and things like that. Well, okay, so let's go back to our tongue burning operation. So Prisma, you light up the bottle, if I'm correct, and you bring it. What? You bring it closer to the tongue. Okay. And how do you take the tongue out of the mouth? Because it's difficult to. It's difficult for Boots to make it out of her mouth. In fact, because it's so big now. You take it with your hands and.
Yeah, I feel like this is a 3-person operation. Someone to hold Boots back so they don't thrash around too much. Someone to maybe like hold the tongue out or
Okay.
something like that, and then someone to burn it.
Okay, I don't remember. Coco, you are still in the same room or you went in another? Okay, so
I'm here.
So Boom Boo says, "Okay, you, Coco, come here. We need your help.
Okay. Yeah.
Grab his tongue, pull it as much as you can.
Okay, I'll do that trepidatiously.
Watch out for your fingers."
Yeah.
Okay, so
Good
I will let Prisma roll for the playing with matches.
Do I roll that, or is that like the person having stuff done to them? Because I noticed all of the like I don't leave the situation unharmed. I break or something.
Well,
I could roll. I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
then we will see. If you can, yeah, you can roll. I don't know if you have black bile tokens to bet on the roll.
I have 1.
Okay, if you want, you can take more because of the situation. Just the situation, the fact that you are supposed to burn the tongue of someone with a bottle of vodka.
Oh, jeez.
Of course. And
It's been
spend
such a
them on the
great
road.
weekend.
That's what I meant. But
Excellent. Yeah. Oops. I
you
can't
choose.
get my token. Yeah, I will definitely spend 2 tokens.
Yeah.
To see this go well, because I do not want to see this fail. Okay, here it goes.
So, what result do you get?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
What? We're all helping too, right?
Okay, so so you begin to approach the flame to the tongue of Boots, and in fact the problem is Coco has troubles exactly putting her hands at the right place, etc., and you begin to burn her hands instead of burning the tongue of Boots.
Oh no! So did she not get any advantage for everybody helping then?
No, not really. In fact, here it's too delicate a situation. I think there would have been disadvantages if she wasn't helped.
Okay, so my hands start burning.
Yeah,
or
well,
get
it's
burned or whatever.
burnt. In fact, because you have only one hand, it's the valid hand. Therefore, that also gets burned. Pretty deep, we could say, but you can still use it, but it will cause you pain. Sorry.
So I just mark one wound, or?
Yeah, I think you can mark 2 here. One wound, it's,
2?
for example, when you are punched by someone.
Okay, it seems
it's violent,
worse.
but it disappears quick. Here, it will be a little bit longer.
Right.
And yes, you burn. In fact, when Coco begins to, I don't know, yell or react or something like that, you let the bottle drop and it explodes on the ground. And well, you spend the next minutes trying to extinguish the fire on the floor. And Boots has nothing in a way more than she got before, but she still has this kind of parasite attached to her mouth.
So
Sapphire walks in and says, "Well, I'm glad that's all done. What's next?"
Yeah, great. Sounds like the door.
Okay, Bumbu says, "Nothing is done, you idiot. Can't you see? She's not even capable of burning something." What a leader. And she turns her back and begins to leave the room angry.
Fair.
Nah, not fair. Someone's got to punch that out.
Gonna be me. I'm also gonna totally take a token for that because I feel like my
Okay.
gang is disappointed in me.
Yeah.
I think this is a really good boil over point. And with Boots insulting her prince, Sapphire lunges at, it was Boom, wasn't it? Lunges at Boom and just like claws at her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tear your skin off.
What?
And yeah, I'm just gonna go full physically violent. I'm just gonna, nobody insults my prince, not in front of everybody, not in front of the commoners.
Okay, so you jump at her and you try to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm attacking someone.
Yeah, I think that would be the move.
And I'm going to spend all 3 of my
Okay.
on this reroll selected.
So all out.
Well, that's 9, and I've
9 plus 3, or including the 3 tokens. I don't hear you anymore.
Am I coming through?
Okay, I'm hearing you now.
Okay. So 2 things. One, that was a 12. The second, I misclicked delete selected and may have cleared the room.
Okay, so your goal was
so yeah.
what? In fact, to make her pay in a way for what she did? Or?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. My goal was to tear the skin from her bones until she apologized to my Prince Prisma. But I got a lot.
Yeah. Well, she was not really burned, in fact, in the process. She had the most, let's say, comfortable role in a way. She was not just holding Boots. So.
Yep. I'm going at her with nails, fingernails, long painted fingernails.
So, what are you aiming at? The eyes or the skin?
Eyes. I wasn't, but said eyes, so I'm all over that.
Okay, eyes it is, or
perfect.
Okay,
eyes.
Good. Okay, so you jump at her with your nails and you before she even realizes what is happening to her, you scratch her face with your nails, and one of your, let's say, pretty well cut nails, let's say, enters one of her eyes, and you see blood pouring out of the globe, and she screams like you have never heard her scream. In fact, maybe you have never heard her scream before, and this is the first time she does that, and it's a horrible scream that everyone can hear. And she looks at you for an instant with her pierced eye, where blood is pouring out, and she then turns back and begins running out of the fortress, crying.
Oh
of
man.
course.
Oh god, I need someone to talk me down. I've gone pretty close to the edge.
I think I shriek and run away to the door and start pounding on it to let me in.
Okay.
Wait, so what happened at the last bit? So they pulled out Boom Boom's eye.
Yeah, well, she pierced one of her eyes.
Pierced it. Okay, so it went all over the place. Yeah, so I think so is Boots okay right now? The tongue's still on her.
Yeah.
But other than that, she's fine, right?
Yeah, she was not burned. That's the good news.
Okay, I think Boots is gonna actually grab Princess and like grab her and like hug her and like just start petting her on the head to calm her down.
Yeah, just in tears, flailing against you.
I don't think she's going to say anything because it'll just all sound really wrong. But
maybe you should confide.
Oh, good idea, Fraser. You are so good at role-playing games. Do some confiding, Boots.
Well,
you actually love that tongue. Don't lie.
Boots can't really confide without a tongue, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, maybe it would be possible, but it's harder, at least. It depends. You decide, in fact, Boots.
Well, I was trying to calm Princess down. Sapphire.
Okay.
So I wasn't really trying to confide. I don't see anything that really talks to that unless it's convince. So maybe this is a good time to convince. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, that would be the choice. Yes. Okay. See if the other player agrees. Sounds great.
Yeah. No, I'm on board.
Okay, then I'll give it a shot.
In fact, I'm thinking confiding could be a good idea also because even if you do not talk, you share something. Something like.
Spend a nice moment with someone. Okay.
Yeah, something like that. You show that you're capable of having this kind of gestures and getting close to someone emotionally or things like that.
Oh yeah, but the 11 plus could go so wrong with this one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And so if I spend 3 tokens and it hits the 11, that could push it into the 11 plus easier, couldn't it?
Yeah.
You game for that, Sapphire?
Oh God, yes! I just clawed someone's eyes out, mate. Take it.
Okay, here we go. Re-rolling, and I'll spend all 3 tokens. Yep, did it. That's a 13.
Oh yeah.
So you went a little bit too far. Okay, so which means that okay, so when you succeed at a confide test, the other one can in a way okay, you choose something. Either the other one can discard between 0 and 3 black bile tokens because
I don't have any.
She's feeling better in a way. She is it calms her down, we could say. Or the other one begins to share a secret with you, for example, because she cracks and she begins to say what she has on her mind or things that weigh on her soul, something like that. I think that would be two good options, but the first one would be linked to what you were wanting to calm her in a way. And plus, because it's an 11 and more, if I have understood correctly.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah. Okay. So there could be, we could say, either we could imagine that other people could take advantage of that, the fact that you were supposed to be the brute, you know, the bad guy, etc., and they see that in fact you are very emotional and things like that. Or we could imagine also, but that would be the choice of Sapphire, the idea that at first it feels good, and then after a while she begins to have the impression that in a way you broke a barrier or something like that, you went a little bit closer, or you took advantage of the situation, or anything you can imagine. So it feels good at first, and then after that begins to say, well, I didn't give her permission to hold me in such a situation. I was etc. So whatever you want, in fact, Sapphire.
Yeah, I can definitely get behind that.
Okay.
Boots, what do you want to pick for the 8 to 10, or for the good bit?
Oh, for the good bit. That's interesting. It doesn't really have the option I'm looking for, does it?
I think the option you're searching for is to calm her down. That was the idea.
Yeah, to calm them down.
Yeah,
it's not,
that's. I think that's.
I think that's the first option. You know, the PC can discount between 0 and 3 black bile tokens.
Oh, okay, so I guess.
It represents the fact that she.
Okay.
She's feeling better in a way.
And then as far as what goes wrong, because I could think of two things. So either, everybody's watching this and they're going to start gossiping, saying nasty things about Boots, because it's supposed to be more on Boots than on Sapphire, correct?
Yeah.
So that's one thing, or we could go like totally. I don't know. Yeah, I won't even say that. Never mind. Let's stick with the gossip.
Okay. Well,
I want to add one little section to it, which is Prisma. You hear, because it's quite loud, as Sapphire's sobbing into Boots' neck, and like he's calming her down. She just starts like stroking Boots' back and saying, "My prince, my prince."
Ooh. Drama. Wow, Prisma feels a bit jealous of that. Being on her prior to now, and all of a sudden, Boots is filling those boots.
Nice.
So she's not going to say anything right now, but she definitely feels really cut about it. And maybe you get like a nice shot of like that hand on the back over the shoulder to like see Prisma sort of like staring at them a bit like. And I guess she's going to slink off and maybe Boom. And we'll, because Boom went like running off outside screaming, right?
Oh, she ran outside the building?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna have. I won't interrupt you, but I was gonna have Cookie go off after her. Just quiet.
Okay, good.
Maybe the two of them can go together.
Okay, so first Cookie went after Boom Boo, and a few minutes, let's say, after that, it's Prisma who also begins to try to see where they are and things like that. That's it.
Yeah, she does it very dramatic. Like I need to leave. Like I can't see this happening right now. My girlfriend is trying to hook up with someone else.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so so Cookie, you're following, and Coco.
Coco ran to the door because number one, something else was burning.
I remember now. You're right. Okay, so you go back to the door, trying to say, okay, now is the sacrifice enough to?
Yeah, exactly. Like my hands are burned now, and she's like, I'm older now, and she's like slamming her wrists against the door ineffectually.
Okay, I think we can do a test once again, a C test, sorry.
Sure. Okay, so I have 1 token, I believe.
Only one after everything that happens.
Maybe not, yeah. Let's see, what are my things reject me for my differences? I took one for people leaving me in that room.
And as I said, these are only guidelines, you know. For example, if you see, I don't know, a siren taking off the head of one of your friends, even if it's not in the list, of course you will take tokens, for example. Just, getting punched or anything. It's how you see your character, in fact, that matters most.
Yeah. Well, I think I'll have a total of 3 now, because 1 for making them abandon me, and then 2 for making me like hold the tongue, and then 3 for like getting burned and being alone.
Yeah, I think you have pretty good reasons to have tokens.
Yeah. Okay. So +3 is I go too far.
Good.
I do 14.
Okay, so you slam the door, and what do you tell her?
Yeah, it's sort of like a as if like a young child were throwing a tantrum against their mother, except not in anger but in sadness. So like just throwing myself against the door and kind of hitting it with my wrists and saying like, I'm older now.
Okay, so each time, of course, because one of your hand is burned and the other one is just, well, it was severed before, you strike the door and saying what you said, and you see, you know, traces of blood on the door each time you punch it in your tantrum, in a way, and you eat it again and again and again with more violence, and you feel the pain, but maybe it only makes you more eager to make you understood. And after a while, when you begin in a way to almost lose consciousness in a way because of the pain, the door tells you her name, which is in a way a very weird name because it is B999.
Okay. So I put that into the keypad.
Okay, the door opens. You're covered in your own blood and all the how to say the burns and things like that, and you enter a place where there are maybe 10 bodies in petrified, we could say, in monk robes, and you have several tables in the door, in the room, and it looks like kind of a bunker or atomic shelter, something like that, you know, with cans and dry fruits and things like that. But also, all tables are covered with automated weapons and grenades and things like that, you know, military weapons in a way.
I like the idea of like all of that being taken in by Coco, but the pain finally gets to her and she like collapses on the ground and she starts crawling towards the looking at more stuff, but then just collapses and passes out.
Okay, that's also what I had in mind, so it's perfect.
Okay, but
okay, so with one last vision, you know, of the dead, one of the dead monks looking at you with a hollow skull, let's say. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to the Boombo, Cookie, and then Prisma affair. So, Cookie, you're following her. You are just right behind her.
Yeah.
What do you try to do?
I sort of like try not to cry. Like she's sort of internalizing like what she's just seen.
Maybe first Cookie, because he went after Boombo before you.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cookie was watching through the overhang, so he saw her run out the door, but he doesn't know she's injured, so he immediately just scrambled down and went after her, and he's been yelling after her the entire time. Boom Boo, wait, why are you running away? We've got food.
Okay, so I imagine the scene where you chase her for I don't know many yards in a way, yelling at her, and she is crying, holding her face as much as she can, and then Prisma, you arrive, sorry, and you hear them yelling this way, and they're about to get lost if they continue that, or maybe to attract dangerous things.
I feel like at this point the rain's like really picking up. Like before it was a bit of like a gentle patter, but now it's pelting a bit more as well on top of it. And she's just gonna sort of like call it like for a boom. I'm not gonna call out because I'm gonna wake up all my flatmates, but she's gonna call out like boom boom and Cookie, like come back kind of thing, just echoing out into, like, it's really not a smart idea, like it's echoing out into the courtyard area.
Okay, I'm not sure Cookie can hear you if you do not yell, considering how far they are from you.
She's yelling.
Yeah, okay, you're yelling. Okay.
Yeah.
So Cookie, what do you do?
So I think Cookie just doesn't understand the situation. So he turns over his shoulder and is looking at her, but he's still running forward and kind of running sideways. And he just yells back, "I have to catch Boom Boo. Something's wrong with her."
Okay. A few seconds after that, Boom Boo stops and turns back to you. She is, in a way, putting one of her hands in front of the wounded eye. You see that there is blood running through her fingers on her hands, and she yells at you to get away from her. And she insults you, of course, because it's Boom Boo. So she calls you a little piece of shit or something like that.
I think that just sort of rolls off Cookie just a little bit, just because it is a weird situation. So he just looks confused more than anything else, and he puts his hand out and he says, "Boom Boo, we have to go back. You know it's not safe out here."
I'll never go back there. Yeah. Leave me alone now. Yeah. Do you do something?
Yeah. So Cookie just kind of mutters, "Again with this," and he grabs her pant leg in one hand and actually starts to like physically drag her back toward the temple.
Okay, so I imagine that you do not do that, let's say, violently.
Yeah, no. He's not trying to manhandle her. He's just trying to convince her.
So she is a violent one in a way, because she grabs you by the neck and she throws you on the ground, and you take one wound.
Okay, and I think Cookie lands on the ground and like it's raining pretty heavily, but like he just looks incredibly hurt, and he starts to tear up a little bit, although obviously she can't see it in the rain. But he sort of like has to stop himself from sobbing a few times, and he says, Why would you leave us?"
"Because I hate you," she says, and then she turns back and she begins to go away. Prisma, what do you do?
Oh man, so she's just seen Boom Boom like throw Cookie to the ground. First of all, she's gonna sprint to Cookie and like pick Cookie up and maybe like a protective arm around Cookie. And I guess she'll try and make one last plea to Boom Boom to just like calm down and like just come back and we can talk it out. Like let's de-escalate the situation.
Okay.
So, yeah, come back to just come back and it'll be fine.
I think we can do one last test to make her maybe come back, but you will be in a situation of disadvantage, most definitely.
That's
so
cool.
maybe
And I'm actually not gonna spend any tokens because I'm fine with me failing. And
okay, you just try it, but do not put too much effort in that. Okay, good.
Oh geez, I'm gonna die. Oh, that's only a 7.
Okay, so she doesn't turn back and she disappears in the rain in a way.
Okay, and I think
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you
go first. Okay, so I think like Cookie is not even Cookie feels completely betrayed, basically. So he's not going to make any effort to get her to come back. He just sort of sits back and begins to sort of, like, you see the brow furrow, and he kind of begins to pout again because someone's left him. So he kind of says, fine, if she wants to go, she can go. We know what'll happen to her out there.
That's harsh but true words coming from an 8-year-old. And Prisma's going to offer Cookie a piggyback back to the...
Okay.
Okay, and I think like Cookie holds her hand as they're going back together.
I was thinking like piggyback, like I'm gonna hoist it from my shoulders. And
oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm good with that. I think that's a better one.
Okay, good. Okay, maybe we can finish with the others because, well, we are almost getting to the end of the game, of the session at least. Okay, so the others. So Coco is completely out in the basement room, let's say. Boots, what do you do?
Muted, Krista.
No, I
Well,
was
Boots and Sapphire Princess, after all, you are holding together.
I fall back.
Maybe we can finish on a beautiful scene.
I don't know. With this tongue, a beautiful thing, not likely.
Yeah.
Can she even get the tongue back? Her tongue into her mouth? She probably doesn't even want to get that thing into her mouth, does she?
Yeah.
So I imagine she actually probably like pulls out a scarf or something like that and wraps it around her neck and the lower part of her mouth to hide the tongue so that it's not visible anymore. And she's probably going to look around, and if Sapphire is actually feeling better, she might be looking to see where the others went. I mean, she saw Prisma and Boom Boom, and well, she didn't probably notice Boom Boom running out, but she saw Prisma and Cookie run outside. Did she see Coco go down into the basement?
No, you didn't see anything. In fact, because of the situation, it was too. We were too self-involved in a way to pay attention to Coco.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was being held down and tongue being pulled out and burned on fire and everything else. Yeah, no, that's fair.
So in a way, we are on this awkward moment where you are holding together in your arms, and it has lasted a few seconds or minutes, I don't know, and you don't really know who is supposed to be the one to stop or to repel the other or just say something.
So I think it's probably a matter now of she'll probably not push back, but sort of stand back a little bit and look at Prisma, Sapphire, and Sapphire was crying, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh well.
So she'll probably. So she'll probably like take like a, I don't know, like maybe she got paper towels while she was in the or napkins or something from the gas station, like pull out some napkins and like blot the tears off of her face. But she won't speak because, as I said, it's anything she says now will just sound so wrong with that tongue. So she'll just, she'll like look into her eyes and hold her. She's a little bit taller than Sapphire, I imagine. So she'll probably put her hand underneath her chin and have her, push her head back a little bit so that she looks up at her more. The idea being, keep your chin up, and put both her hands on her shoulders as sort of a sign of encouragement. All the trying to convey that everything's it's going to be okay. It's normal. Oh, actually, and I think she'll probably pull out one of her. She has like a skull earring, didn't we say? I think that
exactly,
was
yeah.
So she'll like pull that out and like pull out one and swap it for one of Sapphire's earrings, maybe, and like if Sapphire's okay with that, but like sort of the idea being, you're in the club now.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that so much. I kind of want to keep it wordless. I really like that,
Okay.
and so yeah, you put the earring on Sapphire, and she takes one of the big plastic pieces of costume jewelry off, and it's probably the one with like the big gaudy blue sapphire, fake sapphire at the brooch, and she pulls it off and puts it on you, and uh, I think just like falls back into your arms.
Okay. And
And
maybe,
I don't really have it anymore. I want to
yeah,
spend that. I really like it.
I think we can stop at this moment on this image, if that's okay with you. Okay, so, well, I think I will stop the streaming now.